trying to piece together some potential clues about last week's deadly San Bernardino shooting. FBI divers pulling items from a lake just miles from the scene of the attack as reports emerge about a friend of the shooters talking of, quote, sleeper cells. Bringing in now Rod Wheeler. He's just back from San Bernardino and a former DC homicide detective as well as a Fox News contributor. Rod, good to see you. Lots to talk about. We're going to get to the sleeper cells in a moment, but first, the San Bernardino Lake, 2.5 miles from the site of the shooting. Authorities believe the shooters might have thrown evidence in the lake after the massacre and before the police standoff. So tell us, what is some of the evidence that the dive teams could have recovered from the lake, Rod?
Good afternoon to you, Arthel. I can tell you that the FBI, they've been all along in this investigation talking about hard drives that's been missing from the computer of the two suspects because, you know, they did a search warrant at the suspect's home 2 days after the massacre. And you know what they could not find, Arthel? They could not find the hard drives, but they didn't know where those hard drives were. So as a result, they started looking into various types of information that they had received. They even talked to the friend of one of the shooters, the guy Enrique Marquez. And for some reason or another, that led the FBI, Arthel, to this little pond area, which I drove past several times, by the way. This area is not far from where the actual situation took place, where the attack took place. And so the divers went into the water, and they've been going in and out, and they've been bringing things out, evidence out. As a matter of fact, one of my FBI informants told me that they did retrieve some information. He didn't say exactly what it was, but he said that they have received information and evidence from under that water, Arthel.
And Rod, you know, you mentioned the friend of one of the shooters, Enrique Marquez, telling FBI about possible sleeper cells. So what do you know about this, and how perplexing is this notion of sleeper cells to investigators?
Well, you know, the investigators have thought all along, ever since the beginning of this investigation, that other people were involved in this. As a matter of fact, Arthel, you and I talked about this last week, whereby others were involved. And I believe that, too, because when you actually look at the crime scene and when you look at the residence of these two shooters, someone else had to assist these two people, this man and this woman. So by them talking with this guy, Enrique Marquez, now, Marquez has been singing like a canary. He's been doing a lot of talking, and he's actually provided the FBI with a lot of good, credible information. So he's not just, you know, saying anything. But he's actually providing them with credible information.
But let me jump in there before you tell us about what else he might be telling authorities, because this guy Marquez, he waived his right to a lawyer, and as you said, he's giving up lots of information to the FBI. I mean, is he trying to get less prison time, become an FBI operative? I mean, why is he talking so much?
Well, because I think he knows what he's facing. I mean, let's face it, this guy, just by him purchasing the weapons, by him having knowledge about what was about to take place, even though he did not participate in it, Arthel, he could possibly be facing life in prison. So it's in his best interest right now to talk to the police and talk to the FBI investigators so that he can try to, you know, shave off some time when he is charged. They are going to criminally charge this guy. They've actually already said that. But the question for him now is, you know, what is he going to actually be facing? But I think he's doing himself a good thing by participating and by cooperating with the law enforcement agencies.
So how does the FBI apply the information to their investigation, the info that they're getting from Marquez?
Right. Well, the information that they're getting from Marquez, information that they're getting from other people, because, you know, Arthel, there's been a couple of other people that Marquez talked about, and he actually provided names to the FBI. They've actually gone out and started interviewing these other individuals. And don't forget about Mohammed Hassan, who was the ISIS recruiter. That's another name that came up as a result of Marquez. So, you know, this information is credible. They're going to follow up on it. And I actually believe Marquez is probably going to be put in the witness protection program.
Correct.
Because he is doing so much talking, obviously, ISIS would like to silence him.
Yeah. All right, Rod Wheeler, thank you very much. We'll leave it there, but I know we'll be talking more on this investigation. Sure. Thanks, Rod.
Thank you, Arthel.
Arthel, there was an emotional ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery today. Volunteers